you, Chair, and the members. And this is the Office of Registra of Political Parties. And together with me, allow me to ask the people I'm with to introduce themselves.
Just mention their names, please.
Yeah.
To save time here.
Thank you. Together with me, I have Assistant Registrar, Mr. Ali, then Assistant Registrar, Florence Beria, our Head of Lingo, Wafula Wakoko, and our Director, Compliance, Daniel Kinuthia. Thank you so much. We have given to you 2 documents, but we want to concentrate on the executive summary because in the interest of time for the proposals. So you have the document written Office of the Registrar, Submission to National Dialogue Committee, Executive Summary. Then we have the other bigger document, which is about 10 pages or so.
But maximum of 20 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. The Office of Registrar is an independent state office created under the meaning of Article 260 of the Constitution of Kenya and established through the Political Parties Act with a mandate to register political parties, regulate all activities of political parties, and also administer political parties fund. In this particular presentation, we have picked the issues that were put out for discussion, and in the executive summary, we have pushed the entrenching of funds into the constitution, and our concentration will be on political parties fund, the fidelity to political parties, coalition and the law, then establishment and entrenchment of state offices, then electoral justice and related matters, and other outstanding constitutional issues, specifically implementation of 2-thirds gender rule. We shall comment on those matters. The first one is the issue of political parties fund. As we all know, political parties fund is established in the constitution, but the percentage of the political parties, 0.3%, is established under political parties fund. Our proposal is that the 0.3% established under the Act should find its way into the Constitution to make sure that the political parties fund is reinforced in terms of how much money should come to political parties. It is noted that Section 24 of the PPA has never been realized to the full, the 0.3%. So that's why we thought it is important to be put in the Constitution so that we can reinvest and realize the 0.3. And we joined this by, there's a proposal in the President's memorandum and also in the mandate of this committee about women inclusion and political parties participation fund, which a proposal is that it get hived from the political parties fund as it is. While we have no objection, we note that unless we realize the 0.3%, then there will be a lot of effect on the operations of political parties if money is hived from the fund as it is now. It will be so little and so insignificant in terms of meeting the objections, even to support what is being proposed. And we also propose that the same should be managed under one act and under one office, which is the Office of Registrar of Political Parties. We also propose in terms of the political parties fund, just like it's done in other jurisdictions and specifically Europe, we find when countries and states are funding political parties, they also introduce as a criteria to match a shilling for a shilling for political parties. What we mean by that is that political parties are obligated also to fundraise and get money from their members so that the state can match that. Meaning that political parties will not only wait for what comes from the state, political parties will be moved out there and fundraise and also activate their members to do what is required. The other matter we wanted to submit on is the issue of the second issue on electoral system. It is our proposal, and we have been considering our other submission at the BBI, that we need to adopt a mixed member electoral system as opposed to first past the post system, so as to avoid wastefulness of the votes and ensure representation of the marginalized groups. We proposed to ensure inclusivity and strengthening also of political parties. Therefore, we are proposing a hybrid system, first past the post and proportional representation. In this system, we are saying while we retain the single member constituencies and the county seats, the regional clusters or special seats are created where voters are asked to vote for political parties, and of course lists that shall be submitted by political parties. These special seats are then taken and filled proportionately based on the number of votes garnered by each party. The mixed member representation system would strengthen, first of all, political parties, because political parties, even the ones that are not so big and they may not have enough seats, then they can get into parliament through the party list that have been voted for during the elections. And we also, then that will call for doing away with the closed party list, so that we do party list after elections, after they have been voted for. And it also ensure participation of voters in how party lists are made. And we are suggesting, in the alternative, if that does not happen, the system does not change, there is need for participation of either members of political parties or voters in making of the party list, as opposed to just selecting people to go into party list. And our proposal is that the party list may be developed through members of the party voting, and preferably through a delegate system. This will ensure meaningful participation by political party members, and it should be close to political party members. Then number 5, on the matter of political parties, strengthening political parties, and we are proposing commitment of the political class to the political parties' code of conduct and their party policy documents, including their party constitution. We note that the code regulates the behavior of the members and supporters of political parties to promote good governance and eradicate political malpractice. However, as opposed to many other code of conduct, we have a political parties code of conduct that have no sanctions, and therefore we are proposing that the political party code of conduct should have sanction beyond the only one sanction given, which is the registration of a political party, which is a lengthy process. It cannot address the immediate issues when they arise, especially during an electoral process. So we are proposing that the sanctions be brought in the political party's code of conduct, so that we facilitate enforcement and ensure that there is effectiveness in compliance. It is also noted that under the Elections Act, for example, the Electoral Code of Conduct has sanctioned and it is enforced. Therefore, there is need for the political class and also to enhance the Act and to respect the political class, to respect and adhere to the party constitution and the Code of Conduct. And I note as an explanation also that sometimes even the parties themselves may not have control on what their members say out there. So the sanctions should actually also be geared towards individuals who make statements or behave in a certain way that sometimes that are not sanctioned even by the party. It's just a person bad behavior which should then be regulated through sanctions. The other matter in terms of entrenching of offices, we take cognizance of what the discussions are, and one of the issues we are raising is that for us to strengthen the office of Registrar of Political Parties, we propose that the office be considered under Chapter 15 of the Constitution as a dependent office under Chapter 15. We also propose increased funding because the mandate is big, but the fund is limited. In regards to establishment of the office of Leader of Opposition to sit in Parliament and to be held by the presidential candidate of the party constitution or coalition that garners the second highest number of votes, we propose that this office be established. But we have one question: what if the candidate, the presidential candidate, is an independent candidate? To us, we propose that it should be a party, not an independent candidate. I don't know what the law will say if the second runners-up is an independent candidate. That's a question probably put up for us as regulators of political parties. We want to insist that it should be from a political party. In regards to two-third gender rule, the OLPP supports the initiative of the executive on the two-third gender rule by establishing the multi-sectoral committee on gender, where OLPP is represented. We are members of that, so we shall go by the proposals that shall come from that multi-sectoral. However, we say that the establishment of two-third gender rule in the list of candidates for elections should be enforced. There was a ruling in the last general elections to enforce that. It was stopped by court midway, but we think the enforcement should come on board so that for any list of candidates a political party submit to the Electoral Commission, the list of candidates should meet not more than two-thirds of either gender. The next point is that we also propose, as other matters, a director of justice, institutionalization of psychosocial support of candidates in the post-election phase to address the candidates who lose elections and also those who win. The candidates who lose go through devastating periods, and there's no systems to support the people who participate in election, yet they came out to really support governance and the democratic participation in elections. Then some of them go through very difficult moments. Others go into depression, others go into situation to financial crisis and all that. At least psychosocial support for those ones. And for the winners, I think they should also be supported how to behave after winning, so that there's a bit of moderation, so that we maintain national unity as far as after elections. Because winning also can be difficult. There are people who may not exactly know what to do with the win. They behave in a different manner. So it is important also to support those ones. So we also, the last point is that ORPP proposes fast tracking of the reconstitution of IBC in order to avert possible constitutional crisis, as well as address critical outstanding processes. That is the end of our summary of presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Madam Nderitu, and for that eloquent presentation.
Yeah.
Let me just, okay, sorry. Let me just go, then Waziri will come. This fund, the 0.3%.
Yes.